What up, guys? This is the front-facing camera on both the iPhone 15 Plus and the 15 Pro Max. Let me know which one looks better. Let me know which one you think is which. Right now, the one on the left is the Pro Max and the one on the right is the 15 Plus. Let me know what you think of both and the audio.
What up, guys? Welcome back. So today we're talking about the 15 Pro Max and the 15 Plus. Which one is right for you? What are the differences? Because these are very similar. The specs, there's a ton of videos already on specs. I'm going to share, well, again, just my opinion, what the differences between these two phones are, which one I think is the better fit for just about most people. But if you're new to the channel, guys, hit that like, drop a sub. But let's talk about these two monsters of a phone here. So we got the blue Pro Max and we have the blue, yeah, it's blue. We got the blue 15 Plus. Now, again, some of the differences here, we'll just go through the differences really quick. So price is a big difference on these two devices, and $300 more for the Pro Max, and very, very affordable. Well, I don't want to say affordable, but much less of a price for the 15 Plus. Now the RAM, the internal RAM is different. 6 gigs on the Plus, 8 gigs on the Pro Max. You're not really going to notice a difference though, but the RAM is different. Just be aware of that. Starting storage on the Plus, 128. You can bump it up to 256. And starting storage on the Pro Max is 256, and then you can go up from there, but you are going up dramatically in price once you do that. So if you're on a budget already, the 15 Plus is the way to go. Now, as far as the display on here, 6.7 inch display, the exact same brightness, 2000 nits of brightness. So out and about, outside in sunlight, you're not going to notice a difference when it comes to the quality of this display on here. And look at the bezels. This is the Plus on the left side, and then the Pro Max on the right side. The bezels are pretty much identical on here. Dynamic island. So from the front, no one's gonna know what phone you are using. If you care about that, if you care about needing the greatest and the best and the newest, then the Pro Max is the one you're gonna get. But from the front, you're not going to be able to tell. So just keep that in mind. Now, some of the difference, of course, build quality on here, titanium on here, which in my opinion, it's not really that great of a thing this year, and I'll explain why in a little bit. But a titanium build on here against an aluminum build on here, weight-wise, slightly different. The Plus is a few grams lighter than what we have here on the Pro Max. Both of these have the rounded edges, right? We don't have those sharp edges like we did on the past with other iPhones. So both of these are very, very comfortable to hold. You can see another difference on the back is that camera bump. We'll talk about the cameras in a little bit and my thoughts on the cameras, but we do get the extra lens, the 5x macro lens on the Pro Max. We have digital zoom, at least on the Plus, and the new 48 megapixel cameras for the Plus. That's always a good thing. Now, one of the other differences on these devices is the mute switch and the action button. So on here, on the Pro Max, we are now getting that mute switch, which is always a good thing. As you can see, I have it set up for the camera, but you can go in and you can just customize it the way you want. And not only just on what's in here, but you can long press on the action button. You got silent mode, focus, flashlight. You can turn on your magnifier, which is kind of cool, I guess. Shortcuts. So you're going to be able to do a lot from shortcuts. If you want to set a custom shortcut, a lot of things you can do to customize this action button. Accessibility, no action. You could just, I don't know why you would ever do that. And then, of course, on the OG mute switch is on the Plus, which I'm still a big fan of. I use this thing all the time. So if you need the action button, by all means, go for it. It's not something I need. It's cool. Is it a gimmick? Maybe a little bit. Depends on what you use it for. I do have the camera set up on here again. So if I long press on, well, if I hit the right button, if I long press on there, oh, did I just change it? I think I just changed it. Yeah, it's on silent now. So we'll go back to camera. Where's camera? Where? Voice memo is a cool one too. And camera on here. So we'll leave it on camera. So now when I long press, it does open up the camera, which is a cool thing. If you want to pull out your phone, take a quick photo, you don't have to find the app. So Gimmicky, maybe. Cool, yes. But the action button against the mute switch, which one do you prefer? Is that going to change your decision on what phone you get? Probably not, at least it shouldn't, in my opinion. Now, the battery life on these devices, both of them have fantastic battery. The Plus does have better battery. It's more efficient. It runs cooler, and we'll talk about the heat with the Pro Max in a little bit. But 2-day battery life on the Plus and a day and a half easy on the Pro Max. So very good battery life for both of these devices. If battery is something you're going to worry about, don't. They are both fantastic. The Plus has the best battery on a phone that I've ever used. So just keep that in mind. If battery is a big thing, the Plus might be the way to go. Now, these both do have wireless charging, so you're not really missing out. As a matter of fact, you're getting more when it comes to battery life with the iPhone 15 Plus. Now, we talked about this display, but just remember that they do have the same display. However, the refresh rate is not the same. So on the Pro Max, of course, we are getting ProMotion. We are getting 120 hertz refresh rate, and we are not getting that on the 15 Plus. That is just 60 hertz. And will you notice a difference? If you are coming from 120 hertz, you are going to notice a difference. If you are coming from an older iPhone, then you don't really care. And some of you might not even know what refresh rate is. But 60 hertz on an iPhone is smooth. Should it have been 90 hertz at least? Absolutely. But I guess they're just trying to separate the two lineups somewhat because these phones are very similar in a lot of ways. And again, I'm going to say it again, the 15 Plus, in my opinion, is the better buy. Now, of course, one more thing that you might care about, you might not, is always on display. So the Pro Max, as you can see here, always on display. It's going to drain the battery life a little bit more, and no always on display at all. And you also get that new mode where you turn your phone sideways. I forget what it's called. Turn your phone sideways at night when you put it on a charging dock, and it gives you like the camera. I forget the name of it. You guys drop a comment and let me know the name of that. I don't remember off the top of my head. Now, both of these are USB Type-C. There are faster transfer speeds on the Pro Max, but again, it is slight. It's not going to make a huge difference. Maybe if you're a creator, that few seconds will matter. To me, I could care less. As long as we have USB-C, I am good to go. Now, another thing about these devices, if you are a gamer, you might gravitate towards the Pro Max because there are some console level games that are only going to be available for the Pro Max because of the A17 Pro chip on here. So just keep that in mind. But if you are gaming and you're just doing regular gaming and you don't need those console games, both of these, again, the same display and the same speakers. So just keep that in mind. If you're not like a professional gamer and you need those crazy console games on your phone and you're just a regular gamer looking to have fun on your device, either one of these would do a fantastic job and do whatever you throw at it without an issue. Now, we'll go back to the heat. Look, I've been using the 15 Plus since launch, and it doesn't even feel hot. Like, I can remember maybe one time I felt a little warmth when holding it from just using it for a while, just going through and using it for an extended period of time. Maybe a little warmth, but always cool in the hand. Never gets hot at all. The Pro Max, literally 30 minutes after I started using this device, this thing runs super hot. And it's because of the titanium. The aluminum is able to dissipate the heat much better than the titanium Pro Max. Could that be an issue moving forward? It could. You're not going to fix it with a software update because it's titanium on your phone. It's going to just run hot. It's going to run hotter. And it's, for me, within 30 minutes of using this and setting up the device and just going through apps and playing around with the device, it was very, very warm in my hand. And I remember that day I left for work and I took the Plus with me to work instead of the Pro Max. And I literally shut this phone off because I was worried about it just getting hot or overheating, whatever it was. I'm not sure what kind of future there is for a device that's built out of titanium. I guarantee you next year it's not titanium. This thing runs hot unless they figure out a better way to get rid of some of that heat. the Pro Max does run hot. Now, whether or not it overheats, it might not ever overheat. It has not overheated for me. Just keep that in mind. I'm not saying it's a dud. I'm not saying I've had any overheating problems. It just runs hot, and it is very, very noticeable in the hand. It is running warm all the time when I'm using it, where the 15 Plus is running nice and cool all the time without any feeling of heat in my hand. So it's a big difference in my opinion. Aluminum, titanium. Titanium is more premium. It also runs hotter. Again, I want to be very clear about this. I have not experienced any overheating. The Pro Max just runs hot. Let's talk about the cameras on here, and you can take a look side by side. The 15 Plus and the 15 Pro Max, they both take fantastic pictures. Look, we get the new 48 megapixel camera on the Plus. If you need that macro, you can see the digital zoom. If you need that macro to punch in, to get some clean, crisp edges, to get that detail, to get that portrait, even if you're in portrait mode, to get that better bokeh, the Pro Max does shoot much better when it comes to just zooming in. You get the digital zoom, which is pretty clean, but there is a difference when it comes to just punching in on a shot. Everything else, whether you're taking pictures at night in low light, whether it's video, whether it's just a regular photo, everything else across the board is pretty much the same. And in some cases, in my opinion, the Plus looks better, and in some cases, the Pro Max looks better. It's just random which one you think. It's all preference anyway, but as far as the quality of the cameras on both of these devices, you're not gonna have any issues getting clean, just pulling out your camera and getting some clean shots. There are some better options on the Pro Max, but the Plus, when it comes to the camera, is no slouch at all, as you can see from the pictures you just saw. All right, look, so both of these phones are very impressive from Apple this year. Pros and cons with both. No phone on planet Earth is perfect. There are issues with some, and some of the issues just really come down to preference, what you prefer with your device. Do you need that macro lens? Do you care that this is titanium? Do you want to play it safe and get the cooler phone and go with the aluminum phone and still have great pictures and video quality? Do you want the better battery life? Do you want to save $300? Both of these devices are good, but in my opinion, the Plus is the way to go this year. I've shot and used this device since launch, and this is a huge upgrade from last year, and it's finally getting close to a pro device in my opinion. The separation on these, the gap is getting shorter, and there is not, in my opinion, there might be a $300 price difference, but there's not a $300 difference in how these phones work day in and day out. Normal, and I'm not talking about if you are a professional photographer and you need the very best camera to shoot photos, and get the Pro Max. If you're a regular Joe like me, just want to pull out my camera and shoot things and get crazy good quality pics, the Plus is the way to go. Save $300, still a beast, the best battery life on any device. Let me know which you guys prefer. Drop some comments, let me know. The 15 Plus, the 15 Pro Max, both of them are great phones. For me, I'm sticking with the Plus. That's it, guys. I'll be back soon. Peace.